Ben. Ben. Do you remember?
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Ben.
We've just started talking today. This is the first time.
Nice to meet you. I'm Aman.
How are we doing?
I'm very well, Ben. Do you remember about? It's going to be 8 months ago now. We did a commentary for that awful fucking robot film, the one with John Rhys Davies in.
Robot in the Nightmare Land film.
Yes. Do you remember? Do you remember that we weren't alone with that?
Well, Dan, you're never alone when you're with Jesus.
No. And speaking of Jesus, Raymond's back on the show.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, man, how's it going? We'll treat you well.
I'm fantastic, and I have a surprise for you. The last review I did has the crazy professor that falls in poop from Robot in the Family.
Ah, brilliant!
Of course.
Oh, I am so happy about that. That's cracking.
Some redneck telling sex jokes throughout the movie. It's him and the writer are Hank and Frank, and they stand around making dumb jokes as they're murdered by children.
So it's the same role he played in Robot in the Family then as well. Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, for those of you who are unaware, Raymond runs Raymond Smith Films on YouTube. He does reviews of some of the weird and wonderful movies that time forgot. What have you been working on recently, Raymond? Is anything good coming out soon, or?
Yeah, I'm doing Stone Cold, which stars a very popular but not very good NFL football player named Brian Bosworth. He has the world's greatest blonde mullet, though.
That's the selling point if ever I needed one.
Yeah, that one is a request. If you go on any of my videos and make a request, I'll do my best to review the movie.
And I can testify that Raymond is definitely good at that, because I've sent him probably about 2 or 3 movies, and every single one has been covered. He's a great critic, and if you pop into the description of the video now, you'll have a hot link straight over to his channel. Ben, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm starting to like the fact that when we have Raymond, an American, on this, and we're about to watch one of the most nonsensically British things of all time. So I'm sure that will help cause any confusion there.
Oh, this is going to be brilliant. Now, Ray, obviously, we know that you're quite well versed because you have seen quite a lot of British cinema. If at any point you are confused by anything that goes on in this film, don't worry, we are confused as well.
When Michael Barrymore comes on screen, hit pause now and then run away.
This is going to be a hell of a watch. So I am still on Terry's chocolate orange Sexations that we've been eating since at least December last year.
Sexations.
Yeah. They're basically all the little bits of Terry's chocolate orange put together, and I am enjoying a delicious whiskey tea, as in coming with our British culture and heritage. So, Ben, what are you on today?
I'm drinking whiskey too, but I'm not telling which one, because I always do that with everyone. I've decided now to keep it a mystery. I like to have some mystery in my life now. So you'll have to guess which whiskey I'm drinking. It's
Ben's mystery tonic.
If anyone who gets it right I will write them a love letter.
You heard it here first, people. And Raymond, you?
I'm drinking the cheapest, crappiest beer known to man, Busch Ice. Speaking of which, this one's empty. I'm going to grab 2 more, and then we can figure out how to get this party started.
Sounds fantastic. Right, so we are queued up on the DVD copy of Spiceworld, which I have ripped at 720p, gents. So get ready for a high-definition experience like no other.
Hang on, I've actually got my TV. I can see the Cosme version. I've got my TV to sync up almost exactly with the frame you're on, so that gives us a good sign.
That is brilliant news. If you guys can let me know the sound levels once we hit play, because Cosme is an absolute bastard to get synced properly at first. So it's easier for me to just balance the sound immediately after the film starts rather than do it before we start recording.
Well, if there's no sound, we'll just sing along to help create the vibe.
Yeah. So we are queued up on an Angel, and we are about to hit play on Spiceworld, the most British movie ever made. So, 3, 2, 1, a zigga zigga. And that angel is the most terrifying angel I've ever seen. That is some really bad 90s
Polygram.
rendering.
That is some excellent 90s rendering. The Spice Girls present.
And it looks like the Channel 5 logo.
They did present Channel 5, didn't they?
They did at one point, yeah.
This is a very fragile film, so be careful.
We're in Bond territory again.
And here we go.
There's my favorite Spice Girl.
Go on.
There's my favourite Spice Girl. Oh yes, Raymond, tell us about your competition idea that we were going to do.
There's mine.
Okay. Before watching the movie, or who you think your favorite Spice Girl was in '97, and then watch them try to act, and decide afterwards who we think our favorite Spice Girl is now.
Fantastic. I'm going to go for Emma Bunton. That is Baby Spice.
Melanie C for me, the one and only.
I am a Mel B fan myself. We get her on TV every week here for America's Got Talent.
Really?
Oh, you didn't like her, did you, Dan? That's what you told me last night.
Mel B and Mel C were the ones I disagreed with the most, but we'll get on with this.
I'm trying to stir stuff. I'm trying to create tension.
Creating animosity already, Ben.
How can you not like Mel C, Dan? Look at her.
Hey, Roger Moore, another James Bond connect.
Exactly.
I'm hearing doubles from somewhere. Hang on, it might be me.
I think that's just headphone leakage, Dan.
Oh, it's me.
It's you.
If you remember, I ballsed up our copy of Diamonds Are Forever at the beginning by having no sound, so I had two tabs open with the audio playing from both.
Why are you talking over the beautiful ballad that is too much?
This is a beautiful ballad.
Why are we doing commentary? Let's just be silent the whole time.
Now, Ben, tell us about Top of the Pops.
Top of the Pops is a show where paedophiles would groom children, and half the episodes are now missing because of there was this man called a famous paedophile called I think his name was
yes,
and that was a joke, all you libel listeners. It was Jimmy Savile, I believe. Why are we talking about Jimmy Savile?
You started it. I just asked what Top of the Pops was.
And Jimmy Savile was on Top of the Pops.
He was.
We had Jonathan Ross in America for a little bit because he hosted Penn and Teller Fool Us, and then we replaced him with Allison Hannigan from Buffy.
I think that's a pretty fair trade-off.
When it says based on an idea by the Spice Girls, what was that idea?
They went up to Kim. They went up to Kim Fuller and just went, "We have an idea," and she started writing.
He started writing. Kim Fuller, by the way, who is their manager's brother.
Yes.
So nice and keeping it nice and incestuous there.
While I haven't seen this movie in over 20 years, I did watch the trailer, and the trailer makes you think it's a Charlie Angels ripoff.
Yeah.
It kind of does that at one point, but then it also does about 45 different other things. So that's not entirely inaccurate. Look, it's Boris.
Brilliant.
That's a GoldenEye reference for a film we've not done yet. Hey, did you know that these girls know Elton John? Well, now you do.
This film has this deleted scene bothers me.
Oh yeah, originally the joke was that they all give him little cheek kisses, and then he goes, "Whew, that didn't happen. We'll take that." I think that cut was politically motivated because, as the people's poet after Diana died, they probably didn't want him making flippant homosexual remarks. So Dan, out of all the 48 different films that this film is, what's the best bit of it?
I like this bit.
that shot right there. That's the best bit.
Just that shot.
Just that shot.
Just the fans.
Yeah. This captures a very, very particular moment in British history. Well, world history, really. That sort of 96, 97 when the Spice Girls were absolutely massive. And every band in the world should live in a Union Jack bus. That is a fantastic idea.
A terrific van that will be the star of the greatest stunt scene in the history of movies later on.
Oh. And
I still can't get over this really bizarre Meatloaf cameo.
there's nothing bizarre about it at all.
Why is Meatloaf in this movie?
Because, Dan. And here we have a shot of London. I'm going to make that joke about 5 times for all you keeping track. Wish I had a swing inside my giant pop art lair.
I still can't get over how big it is in there.
It is basically the TARDIS.
It is. So you said if I don't understand something, I can ask questions, right? Am I supposed to be able to understand anything these women are saying?
You're not alone.
Is it important?
Well, they're talking about shoes.
Ah.
So that's important. That's essential to the plot of the film. If you miss that, then it's a very, very intricate, layered plot, isn't it, Dan?
It's very convoluted.
It's I think Chekhov worked on the original script treatment for this. Is it too early for me to?
Sorry.
Is it too early for me to do my Spiceworld is great actually, lads defense, or we'll wait until it gets really crap later on for me to do that?
I want you to do it when Barrymore turns up. Oh, there's Wassy.
Oh, there he is. He's dead now, of course.
Yeah, horrible plane crash. This will be going out obviously in January, by the way, just for reference. Odds are Trump was out of office and the nuclear attack on England was successful. So
that woman in the crowd there, she's dead. They all died after filming. It's very, very suspicious. It's like The Exorcist.
It's like Poltergeist.
Just a curse.
They all saw the movie that they were extras in and then killed themselves.
I don't want to turn this commentary into lads too quickly, but Emma Bunton does look rather nice in the dress, doesn't she?
Just to confirm, by the way, that is Norm from Cheers, isn't it?
Yes, it is. George Wendt.
I thought it was.
Everyone's in this film, Dan. I think I'm in it at one point. I play Jerry.
We had our gap year, if you remember.
I'm I'm Baby Spice.
Your apartment building's in the background also.
Yeah, it was great because in 1997, me and Ben spent majority of it pissed, so it was just great.
We just woke up one day and said, we've just made a film with the Spice Girls.
Yeah, we must immediately get pissed and forget 1997.
Richard E. Grant is, he does alright. He's not quite phoning it in, but he's not quite great either. And look kids, it's Roger Moore.
Yeah, we're about to start his films.
And the kitten! Aww.
He's beautiful.
He's very funny in this, actually. I think he knows it's crap. And he plays it perfectly. I mean, it mustn't have taken longer than like an hour to film all his scenes.
Of course he's making martinis.
Get it, adults? It's a reference for you.
This is subplot number 12 of about 48 that gets introduced in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, much like Robot in the Family, Ray, I wouldn't focus too much on trying to figure out what the plot of this film is. I would more just let it take you.
Let it take you violently over the pinball machine.
So far, they've announced a tour, they've argued over shoes, and I have no idea what these people are talking about.
Well, it's all a metaphor for the fall of communism.
Do you remember when Mel B became an astronaut?
Look, kids, it's Jules Holland.
Oh, wow, he's great on his hootenannies. I hope they never make another one.
Okay, that hair is taking away some of my love of Mel B, I'll be honest.
I think it looks good. I think it suits her.
I don't know, I think it should be the hair or the astronaut costume, one or the other.
That is it's It's a very big coat. I bet it was. Was it really cold in that room? I imagine.
She actually has 3 adopted children living in there as we speak.
She said, "Hey up, I'm putting that coat on,
Oh,
and
God.
you can't stop me."
See, I'm a northerner, as is Ben, and I don't know how Ben isn't terrifically
You're not a northerner.
annoyed.
You're from the Midlands.
I'm a northerner, Ben. I was
No,
born.
it's not in the north. It's in the Midlands.
Don't you go associating me with them southern softies.
You're not southern either.
No, I'm from the north.
You're in.
I'm
No,
intense.
you're not. You're in the middle.
Got a broad northern accent. Don't start on me.
You blatantly don't.
Look, I drink Yorkshire tea, and my family's from Lancashire. I'm northern.
Look, kids, it's Alan Cumming.
Yeah, we have a big north-south divide over here, by the way, Raymond. We're not...
Who is this woman now?
It's not that we hate the south, it's just we'd rather them not live here.
She's in Torchwood.
She is.
She's their only friend. in this media circus world of lies.
Made me
Whoa.
choke on my whiskey, then.
All those fags you smoke.
You've just killed me, Ben. I'm dying.
All those joints you smoke. You need to chill out, man.
The Spice Girls being all like, what do you mean we have loads of friend?
Hey, look, it's our friend. It's all our friend.
I will say Richard E. Grant is the best part of this film, in my opinion.
He yeah, some of the people definitely phone it in, but Richard E. Grant, I think he's kind of like, it's not great, but he's not phoning it in either. He's doing just enough. I think
got the right level.
I think his direction was just be the most Richard E. Grant character imaginable. Shout a lot and make big eyes.
So far the Spice Girls have performed 2 songs, spoken about shoes, and are now talking about having babies.
Oh, this is one of the classic Family Guy style cutaways that we'll see over the course of the film.
Great. Baby Spice is having a baby.
I know, it's madness. What next?
It's like one of them pregnancies within a pregnancy type thing.
It's like a babies having babies PSA.
Babies making babies. Just trying to copy strike your video there.
Okay, so somebody take that line, remix it into a club mix, and post it back to us.
That's
And we'll,
Sly and the Family Stone. Babies making babies.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, it's because I'm an uncultured
But
swine.
we're not-
Of course I didn't know
This
that.
isn't Sly and the Family Stone world. This is Spiceworld. So I'll refrain from talking about that. You know,
I like those chairs.
yeah. This film is giving me the fear with the colour scheme.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the things I picked up on when I watched this yesterday was the colour scheme is atrocious.
The only thing that's helping me get through the movie is remembering that around this time, Mel B and Ginger had sex with each other, so...
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That's true. I was telling this to the wife yesterday, and she didn't believe me.
According to Mel B, anyways, she wouldn't lie.
Well, Jerry denies it, but then she would, wouldn't she?
I mean, I'm not against the idea strictly.
Not against the idea. Dan Daly, I'm for it. And this is actually...
Oh, song number 3. Everybody focus.
This is a great version of Say You'll Be There.
It is. I don't know whether it ever actually got a release.
I think this mix of it was on the soundtrack, if I remember correctly. This is the version they do live,
Oh, right.
and it sounds great. It really does sound really good. Now this is my problem with this film. I was saying this to Becky last night. I was saying that every time you're watching a scene with the girls and they start to charm you, or you start to enjoy watching them, it always cuts to some bollocks. Like it'll cut back to Alan Cumming or Richard E. Grant shouting, or fucking Jonathan Ross or whoever. It's like it just has no confidence in their ability to like carry a film. But they're fine.
Ben,
Yeah, see, there they go again. Like, make it like a one long music video instead of cutting away to these idiots all the time.
I agree completely. I agree totally. It should have been like Head. Like, it should have just been like... They attempt to have a plot here, but I think they should have gone the other extreme. Just don't have any plot whatsoever. Just make it a pure pop art explosion for 90 minutes.
Like they do for the tour films. That's a big thing now. These musicians have films of their tour, and it just 90% of it's them singing and 10% of them getting ready to sing. We don't show the cameraman.
I bet if you just like filmed the girls for like a year and a half, they'd probably just make your film for you. You wouldn't have to have all this attempts at a story or anything like that, because they're perfectly. They're not Meryl Streep, but they can carry a film. They're charming enough and they're entertaining enough.
That being said, though, one of the things that really draws me to this film in the first place is the fact that has sort of got this half-arsed framework around it. I'd love the fact that it does go so far off the rails, because if it was just like a live video or something like that, I'd be a bit sort of, I'd be like, oh, okay, it's good quality, but I really enjoy just this really surreal, hyper colourful weirdness that's kind of run alongside it.
What I mean is, like, my ideal version of the film would just be like those scenes like the ones we just saw where the girls are just having banter and singing. Like, I'd happily watch a film of that. I really would. We don't need Barry Humphries
being a newspaper man.
I think now is the time for you to segue into why this is actually a good movie, Ben.
This is a great film because it's an honest vision of what it was like to sort of be in that pop explosion, and I think that like it's like how Head by the Monkees is a good film because it is just like their music put to visuals. That's what this film is, and because the Spice Girls are great, and I'm not even saying that in a ironic, oh, it's cheesy and crap and I'm being funny. No, they were really, really fucking brilliant, especially around this time.
It is very crystallized of that scene of that time. Like if you imagine Britpop in the late 90s, this is pure, uncut, unrefined
Unfiltered.
slice of that. Yeah,
Up your nose.
Like if you've seen this film, you know everything you need to know.
Okay,
about
it's
the
raining
culture of that
inside
time.
now.
That's quite funny though.
Yeah, that was one of the jokes I laughed at when I watched it yesterday. I thought that was actually quite funny.
Spice Bus.
Ben, what's the significance of the bus being number 19?
Because Paul Hardcastle did the music.
Oh shit, yeah, he did actually, didn't he?
There you go.
Oh, they're back in the TARDIS playing chess now.
Meanwhile, in the TARDIS,
They're both playing chess and none of them know how to play chess. Why do they have a chess set if they don't know how to play chess?
maybe it's a tribute to that scene in Bottom.
You know, Ben, this is clearly a reference to that scene in The Seventh Seal.
The spicy seal.
Oh dear, that's what I have after I have a curry. Yeah, that was a cheap joke. I went there.
Oh, poo. My friend tried to teach me how to play chess once. It was embarrassing.
I know how to
involved.
play chess. I know how to play chess up until the last sort of bit where it's like checkmate, and then God knows how you play it after that.
I hope Richard E. Grant got to keep that rather green suit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really green.
He's definitely got Riddler vibes.
That's all I have to say about this scene. Look at the fucking suit. See, that's what I mean. I want more of the girls, not Norm from Cheers.
I don't know, Norm from Cheers is pretty good.
If I wanted that, I'd watch Norm from Cheers World.
Was that the sequel to Wayne's World?
That was the sequel to Cool World with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, everyone just calls him Norm from Cheers. You got it.
That's his name.
Yeah.
That's the name his mother gave him, damn it.
Did you guys get the TV show Coach over there?
Dan's probably seen it.
It's about college football.
Sorry, we're in the midst of bonfire night over here, and basically people let fireworks off from around about the beginning of September until March.
Bonfire night, that was last weekend.
I know, but you'd think out there that people didn't know that it was last weekend because bottle rockets are going off over here literally every night.
You do live in a very urban, derelict area.
I do. It looks like the plot from the day after. Not the day after, the next day.
The only reason I was asking about Coach is because the lead actor is a guy named Craig T. Nelson, and I heard someone joke that the T stands for that guy from Coach.
I know Craig T. Nelson. I just don't know Coach.
He had a sitcom where he played a football coach.
She has
lovely Emma Bunton.
Oh, here we go. Another Flash, another Family Guy bit.
Hey kids, it's Hugh Laurie.
Oh, yeah.
If you're American, he was on House. If you're British, he was on about 400 things.
They have Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie in this.
Bloody hell.
If you were semi-famous or even a bit famous in 1997, you were in this film.
Hey kids, watch a bit of Fry and Laurie. It's very funny.
Yes, it is.
Very, very funny.
Becky was saying yesterday that she wishes she had a swing like that in our apartment. And a slide, thank you.
Ben, why haven't you provided that?
Because I'm broke and
Ben,
I have no. I was fired for making too many Spiceworld defences at work. They said.
Make sure you bolt it securely in the ceiling, or it won't hold two people.
Customer service, people would call you up and you'd just be like, "Yeah, I know about your problem, but right, Spiceworld, right."
let me tell you about this film from '97. Right, I don't give a fuck if your husband's died.
Sue the Spice Girls because you lost your security deposit.
Your dead husband can suck my. Let me tell you about Spiceworld. Hey kids, it's Dominic West.
Oh, brilliant!
Now this is my favourite scene. This bit coming up where they do all the dressing up and then they take the piss out of each other. This is what the film should have been. Just 90 minutes of that.
Goofing about.
Just the Spice Girls like free associating and just jumping from like.
It's a changing outfit montage.
Yeah, just do that. I mean, it wouldn't have been funny, but it would have been charming, and that's all this film needed to be.
Well,
this is a good song too.
Is she dressed as Jackie
She
O?
is dressed as... Yeah, that was one of the things I picked up the other day.
You've got Mel C doing Bowie
in
there.
Grease?
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to take a pee break because I've had 5 years.
You can't
By
do
all
that.
means.
This is the best bit.
Enjoy, man. So
It's
while Raymond liberates the Free West, Ben, what did you make of this particular sequence?
I think this like I say, this sequence is fantastic. It's just charming and cute and like, and they look great. And like, I don't mean that in a sort of lads, ooh, they're well fit way. I mean they look great in the sense that they just do what pop bands should do. They just look in love with life and just having a laugh. And do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Bond reference, by the way, that just passed us by. It's back again.
I know. I thought that last night. I thought it's very timely that we're watching this before we watch all the Roger Moore stuff. And this is great. All this stuff where they're dressing up as each other. It's just cute.
I thought this was really cute and neat.
And it feels like they're ad-libbing left, right, and centre, and you know,
feels genuine.
That's so cute when Emma Bunton roars. She just doesn't sound threatening at all. It's brilliant. Mel C looks good in a black cocktail dress. Okay, that's the last lads comment I'll make.
Ladies and gents, alcohol has entered the chat.
No, it's not. Expect at least 12 more.
Yeah, there's going to be way more. It's only going to get worse. We're freebasing whiskey and beer here.
I've got whiskey which I'm chasing with Sprite.
The only thing that's keeping you in line is your missus being literally next to you. Even that won't stop you.
You liked Spiceworld, didn't you, Beck? Becky loves it.
It's well good, isn't it?
It is great, and I just wish that the film would not cut to this nonsense.
No, this is the stuff I like. I like the fact that it detours violently.
It does detour violently, but it does it. And hey, kids, it's Richard O'Brien.
Yeah, this is what I love about it. I don't care about the girls taking photographs. I want to see creepy scouse Richard O'Brien taking photographs of people picking their nose.
Richard O'Brien's great, but he has been in some shite.
This is the problem, right? Richard O'Brien's IMDb page reads like the most confusing thing I've ever seen in my life. He's got 3 directing credits, 3 writing credits, and like 700 acting credits.
Hey, this film's better than Shock Treatment.
I'm back.
I disagree very strongly with that, and I'm going to fight you.
Raymond comes back to violence.
No, Ben just threw out there that this is better than Shock Treatment, which I
Because it is.
disagree with it. No, it's not. Shock Treatment is...
I keep trying to watch that. It's been on my list. It's on the hard drive of my broken computer. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
I am sat here literally holding the soundtrack on vinyl in my hands. I love Shock Treatment. It's one
Shock
of the
Treatment is so poo.
It's one of the most underrated films I've ever sat through. I enjoy it tremendously. There is one bad song in the entire musical, and that's it.
Yeah, well, there's no bad songs in this, therefore it's better.
I know, but you've already said that you don't like it, the fact that it keeps drifting off into bollocks, which I love, so...
But Shock Treatment doesn't have Mel C in a little black cocktail dress, so what's going on there? Hey kids, it's Jennifer Saunders!
So, Raymond, a couple of days ago, I put one of those tag your friends things in on Twitter about naming 3 facts about yourself, and I tagged you in, and you posted a couple of facts that really I'd love to hear more information on how it happened.
Okay, I'll make it as quick as I can.
Yeah.
During the 1995 World Series, I lived in Las Vegas, and I was watching the game with this guy who exclusively bet on women's basketball. And he used to work at Caesar's Palace, and we were at MGM. So he said, "You want to get something to eat?" And the White Sox had just had just tied up the game in the 6th inning, and we were both convinced they were going to win. So we left, and we walked 1.5 miles over to Caesar's Palace, and just walked down into the basement into the employee cafeteria. And no one stopped us. There were people down there. They just said hi, just assumed we worked there. And we went down there for like half an hour, ate, watched some of the game on the TV, and then walked back to MGM, and luckily the game lasted 14 innings. It was a 5-hour game, so we got back in time to watch the end.
Wow.
The Bond style of infiltrating somewhere, just turn up.
Yeah, just pretend you belong there. As long as you don't ask questions, as long as you don't talk to anyone, and keep walking, you can go pretty much anywhere.
That's insane.
I'm making notes for when I infiltrate the Houses of Parliament.
As soon as I ask you what you think of Spiceworld, and they'll kick you out. Like, even they know this movie's terrible.
So, Dan, did you notice that Emma Bunton is wearing a see-through dress in this scene?
No, I didn't.
Well, you're about to notice it.
I'll pay attention.
That's why the film needs to be on Blu-ray.
Oh, God. I just wanted to see Richard O'Brien's paws.
Well, you just saw his head poke out of a table.
Hmm.
Because he's the villain. That was a very filthy line there. Where it's like, are you into boys? And she went, no, it doesn't ring a bell. She's talking about her fanny kids. Knob cheese.
Ah, it rumbled.
What did she say back to the "Do you like boys"?
They were asking, do you like boys? And she goes, boys? Doesn't ring a bell.
And then he asked again, and she said, oh, is the Pope Catholic? And then the photography guy got a news story basically saying, Spice Girls question the Pope's Catholicism.
Oh, God.
As far as a take on the Beatles are bigger than Jesus thing, it's alright. Hey kids, it's...
What evidence do the Spice Girls have to support these allegations? Okay, I'm now convinced that Donald Trump wrote this movie.
Why would they care? They live in a magic bus, as the Who sang about.
With Roger Moore as the man with the plan. Why has he got CDs glued to his wall?
Because I'm assuming he's meant to be like the evil record head of the company. I'm assuming. I assume a lot of things about this film.
Now, Ben, I'm going to leave this one to you. To our American viewers, they may not be too familiar with the events around Gary Glitter. Gary Glitter to Raymond and people like that. You know the song Rock and Roll that plays at Super
Rock
Bowl?
and Roll Part 2 or whatever, Part 1 or something.
People know Gary Glitter in America.
Yes, yeah, show.
They do. He's a raging paedophile.
Yeah. Well, that's basically the beginning and end of it.
And he was in this film, and then he wasn't, because the allegations happened in between them filming it and in between the film coming out was when the whole fucking PC World thing happened, and he was very swiftly removed.
But if you go on YouTube, you can find that deleted scene.
Yeah, it did the bootleg rounds before the film came out. The rough cut got leaked, and if you knew where to look, you'd find it. Which is it's very strange because their version of Leader of the Gang is really good.
Okay, why is that guy in the background just randomly making his boobs bounce?
That's my cameo there. That's what I look like now.
You time traveled in the TARDIS. Yeah, I'm sorry, the Spice Bus.
Yes.
To film this scene.
The bus from the Great Space Coaster. I travelled in that.
See, if anybody nowadays told me to get on the Spice Bus, I would think they were trying to get me high on some illegal substances.
They were trying to sell you actual spice.
Yeah.
That's the name for the drug scene in Manchester at the moment. It's called Spiceworld.
Oh yeah, we got some Yo Mama jokes coming in because
it's not even a Yo Mama joke. They just say the word mother over and over.
They just keep going, your mother. No, mate, your mother.
No, your fat mother. No, your fat mother.
No, your daughter. I just said the cunt word.
It's going to get bleeped.
Sorry. No, it's not.
No, it's not. It might do. If I can be asked, it will be bleeped.
Great, you just got demonetized.
You can't get demonetized from no money whatsoever. What would you make? Is it -0?
It's an editing technique that you taught me yourself, Ben. When people swear really loudly and badly, if you bleep it, it makes it funnier.
That was a very pointed criticism. When they swear loudly and badly, like you fucking degenerate drunk.
When they do the bad swear words.
This is a really good version of Leader
It is a really good version.
Yeah.
Should we do a clap time again so you know when to bleep the word so people think it's a real swear word?
Well, when I say the word again, I will clap to let you know.
Okay.
It's
How's
fine.
that?
We have no problems with swears on here. You can swear as much as you like, but at the exact same time. But it was, like I say, Ben turned me on to the idea of bleeping things more than anything else, just because he said it's more funny when somebody says and it gets bleeped.
My partner really enjoys the sight of male arses. That's what that woo sound was just then.
That's fair enough if that's a preference.
If that's a preference. Is that your preference, Beck? Male arses. Oh. That's not
I have
allowed.
one of those suits. I wear it every Halloween.
Whether you're asked to or not.
Whether you're asked to or not.
I realized halfway through that my beer made me say that.
Oh yeah, blame the beer. We're all on whiskey here.
I decided I wasn't going to get...
tiny bus. It's just bigger than my apartment inside.
Well, Raymond, you didn't write Wannabe. That's why you don't get to live on the magic bus.
That's the price of being Spice.
And this is a bit of a cracker, isn't it?
Oh God! Oh Jesus! This is awful.
It's hilarious.
Oh!
we're quiet waiting for it.
Oh. No, Meatloaf. No.
You see, kids, Meatloaf wrote a song in 1993 called "I'd Do Anything for Love" brackets, but I
Poor
won't do that. Close
Meatloaf.
brackets.
Poor Meatloaf, man. I
That
love
is
that.
one of the best-selling albums of all time. It's top 5 selling albums of all time. And then he's in Spiceworld quoting himself. Uh-oh, I think it's aliens.
Look, kids, aliens.
Aliens, yeah, it's Close Encounters.
That's just a lighting rig.
It is.
They didn't even build a spaceship.
It's just lights.
Yeah, Posh is
She's trying to act, but no.
the keyword
doing
being
that-
trying.
They're doing that thing again where every scene they're wearing completely different clothes.
Yeah.
The Spice Girls are allowed.
Why do all the aliens look like Gary Glitter, by the way?
That's part of it. They're trying to subliminally tell the world the truth about Gary Glitter.
That their planet is Thailand?
There's Raymond there in his cameo.
Oh, God.
They're taking this rather well.
They are. I'd be quite freaked out, I'll be honest with you.
We, the Spice Girls, have just discovered what people have been trying to suss for years. There is life on other planets.
They were completely fine with aliens just appearing in front of them, and are only freaked out by the aliens trying to touch their boob.
They came from the Weinstein planet.
Planet Gropius Maximus.
So when
Planet Fiddlius Kidlius.
my interpretation of this scene is that they have the fame has driven them past the point of insanity to the point where they're all collectively hallucinating. That's my generous interpretation of this scene.
Okay, Ginger was gaining points as my favorite, and she just lost all of them.
You know, you can get that photo as an A1 size poster.
That's my wallpaper. Some little dubbing going on there, I guess.
Gotta love ADR.
We need a transition from the alien touches Mel B's tit scene.
How do we get from that? I know, bring Roger Moore back in.
And then they realised, I just said that out loud.
He'll win crowd back.
Don't worry, Roger Moore's back to save the day.
Excellent. What? Of course he's wearing a tuxedo now. Of course he is.
Well, how can he not?
He was wearing a shorty robe earlier. And now he's got a rabbit instead of a cat.
That's a good gag. It changes the animal every time.
They are not on a bus.
They are on a bus, Dan.
They're not on a bus, Ben.
Dan, they're on the Spice Bus.
He literally just said, this is a spice bus. Why would he say this is a spice bus if they're not on the spice bus?
That was the line, Dan. This is the Spice Bus, which the Spice Girls live on.
I've just noticed a little gag in the background. If you look at the frosted glass on the doors behind, it says maximum capacity 5 girls.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is they've already broke capacity, so they're technically breaching health and safety laws, and I do not approve of that.
And for that reason, I give Spiceworld a thumbs down.
I'm giving it 1 bag of popcorn and half a soda.
I hope Richard E. Grant got paid handsomely for this scene.
Benny was in
he's-
Posh Nosh about 4 years later, so I don't think he did.
He did talk. There's an interview he did one of those those videos where it's like an actor goes through their famous roles. I think it's like Variety or GQ does it. You seen those?
I do, yeah. I've seen the Hank Azaria one. It was very good.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of thing. Richard E. Grant did one of those, and he spoke about this quite warmly. He didn't.
Yeah.
He acknowledged that.
Oh, they were joking. They liked him the whole time.
See, it's all alright.
Hilarious.
Becky
Right, Ben. Michael Barrymore.
Oh, my
Oh,
feed
Christ.
just died. It must have known he was on screen.
My defense of this film is getting increasingly thin.
So, Ben, Michael Barrymore.
Michael Barrymore did game shows. If you go on the UK and go on the Sky Channel Challenge, you will see lots of footage of Michael Barrymore. And then someone died in his swimming pool, and he probably killed them. The end.
Thank you, Ben.
It's like a killed his wife. Now you will have to bleep that. That's probably libel.
No, I'm leaving that in. Fuck it. Ben, defend Spice Girls.
I can defend the Spice Girls. I can't defend Michael Barrymore.
Defend Spiceworld, Ben.
The Spiceworld is great because Michael Barrymore has no career now, but because that's also libel. Basically, the point of these commentaries is to accuse people of crimes they may or may not have committed, but he did. And so it's like how, you know, like I was saying, Raymond, like killed his wife.
So, remind me again why the most popular pop group in the world needs a makeover to be popular? What's the point of this scene?
Because... So in this scene, they're walking out of the hutch, and look at that, they do a transition.
Magically changing clothes.
Yeah.
And the joke is that Posh Spice, right, she doesn't wear camo because that's lad stuff and she's a lady.
She's Posh Spice, that's a character.
All the Spice Girls are wearing full military outfits except for Posh is like, nope, it's against my contract to not be in a miniskirt.
They're going to Beirut. They're going to train the natives.
I'm going to be blunt here, Ben, and I said this near the beginning, but Victoria Beckham in this film is probably the weakest element of this film.
No, that's Victoria Beckham. Yeah, but Becky would agree with that. But Victoria Beckham can't act.
She just doesn't.
She tries.
I don't think she does. The rest of them are running through an obstacle course, and she's in a miniskirt and heels just walking around. Oh, Ginger Spice just fell on her ass.
I don't think that's a bad gag. It's just that she doesn't do it well.
No.
She just had to adjust her miniskirt 3 times in 10 seconds.
You say all this like it's a bad thing.
Ben again flexing his lads muscles there.
Meanwhile, in plot number 7.
Oh God, yeah, there's more plots in here than bloody plot book.
What the fuck? Do you want to try that one again?
Yeah, there's more plots in here than Fargo.
Dan, please lie to me. Earlier when you were giving the time cue, you said we're like an hour and 37 minutes into this, right? Not 39 minutes?
I clocked it in at 43 minutes. We're ahead of schedule.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's more of the film to come.
Look, kids, it's Richard O'Brien covered in shit.
This scene was directed by Peter Jackson during his Meet the Feebles bad taste phase.
I like how all the girls get a wake up in shock.
That's not how toilets work. Even I've never been to the UK, but I don't think that's how toilets work there either.
Raymond, have you not seen Trainspotting?
That's
exactly how toilets work.
Can I just say
like a Family Guy cutaway, like this movie is. That didn't actually happen.
That's going to be the tagline for this video. It's going to be Dan, Ben, and Raymond figure out how toilets work.
And you know what I love? This. I was saying this to you last night. I love the fact that in this is the film where you cut from Richard O'Brien toilet adventures to the girls now have a discussion on Freudian psychology. That's what happens.
We try to figure out how toilets work using only Spiceworld and Trainspotting as reference material.
I saw Ewan McGregor go in that toilet. That wasn't a special effect. That was magic.
Now, Ben, I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of side with Raymond on this one. We have 2 examples of magic toilets. We need a third one, really, to verify that.
Okay, well, it's not a film example, but I guess Conker's Bad Fur Day at the N64. Little musical accompaniment.
What was that movie, Ghoulies, that had the creature coming out of the toilet on the poster?
Oh, you've
See-
got Dogma. Dogma has a magic toilet.
Oh yeah, that shit. Richard, he's under the bed, but he stinks of shit.
He does.
He literally stinks of
Ben,
shit.
I've had enough of you picking on the people of Liverpool. They do not stink of.
You could have just ended that on Ben. I've had enough of you. It would have worked fine. I wish I had a little den like this with loads of freaky psychedelic colours going on.
Oh, this is the weirdest scene in the film where they all sit around and talk about breeding.
This is the weirdest scene.
Yeah, this is the bit where even I was sitting there going, what the are they doing?
This is probably the most normal scene in the film.
I disagree.
I dropped to 120p here. I'm going to try to reload, but I'm still listening to you.
We're having fluctuating internet. I know that we've had a little bit of dropout along the way. But
the
pulling
important part is the friends we made along the way.
through. We did. We've made friends. We've laughed. We've lived. And more importantly, we have loved.
I feel like, I don't know, the conversation, the banter feels a bit too real in this scene. I imagine there was some ad-libbing going on. They had to have ad-libbed their way through some of the scenes.
I'm going to have to ask you as well, Ben, whilst we're here. Was this film sponsored by Chupa Chups?
I think this film was sponsored by everyone with a trademark in 1997. You got Chupa Chups, you've got
Pogs.
Pepsi. Oh yeah, Spice Girls.
Crazy Bones.
Spice Girls had a big deal with Pepsi at the time, so they're in it.
Crazy Bones.
Crazy Bones.
Yeah, Crazy Bones sponsored them.
What's Crazy Bones?
You've never heard of Crazy Bones? Oh man.
Oh,
They were like little cheap pieces of crap plastic that you'd buy for £2, and you get 3 of them, and it was a bit like marbles, but they had weird faces on them.
So like Kinder Eggs.
Yeah, only you didn't get any chocolate. It was just the toy.
At least with Kinder Eggs, you got some nice chocolate. Meanwhile, in plot number 75.
Oh, that's Charlie's Angels. Great.
This is what you meant, Raymond. This is the Charlie's Angels bit.
Yeah. In the American trailer, this is all we get. This is the scene where they say, oh, it's really hot in here, I need a fan. And some random girl comes in, runs in screaming. And they say,
Yes.
oh, so much better.
They cut that gag from the film. That's not in the film.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh God.
This is quite a good gag with Ian Holm.
Comes out
Oh, God,
as
it's Bob
Roger
Hoskins.
Rabbit guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool, blimey, Mr. Hopkins.
Or as Becky said last night, Ian Holm.
Ian Holmes. God. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I know, Becky. I know.
Now, I don't know if you guys recognize that music, but in America, it was the theme song for Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Oh wow.
By Good Charlotte?
No, that's Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous.
Oh.
That's where they got it from. It was a show where they... I forget the guy's name, I'll look it up. This guy just told you about all the yachts that Coco Chanel owned and shit.
I think I remember that show. Is that the one where it's like, and here we have the amazing mansion, £14 million. Yeah, I remember that guy.
I hate all this stuff with Alan Cumming. It's just...
Yeah, this could all be lopped out. That it doesn't...
If you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, the yacht that the main character crashes is from that show. They actually show it in that movie.
Oh, wow.
Look, Dan, more
Coco
Chupa Chups.
Chanel's yacht. The guy from Wolf of Wall Street bought her yacht and then crashed it.
Jeez.
Look at the PlayStation.
I was going to say, I hope they've got a copy of Spiceworld on the PS1.
Definitely plugged. They also had a big deal with Walkers at the time. You'll notice there's a very prominent bag of Ready Salted on the table.
Yeah. You know that Spice Girls predominantly live on a diet of Walker's Crisps, Chupa Chup Lollies, and PlayStation.
Is that how they look so thin and trim and athletic?
Yeah, it's technically mange.
It's Robin Leach is the host.
You know, Gary Lineker was doing the Walkers adverts, wasn't he, at the time?
Yes.
He still is. Thank you, Becky. That's my assistant Becky in the background. She provides Spiceworld trivia.
Robin Leach is the host, Lifestyles and Rich and Famous. I was hoping he had lived in some weird, like, Pon Avion or something, but nah, he's just from London. I wanted to make fun of weird British town names, but he's just from London.
He lives in Upper Lower Scrunchback.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell that Victoria Beckham isn't acting here. She looks genuinely fucking sick to her stomach. Which I would be too. I get seasick.
There is the one time that Dan tried to... He sent me a file through some shady service, and it gives the address. So it's like... Pawn Thames upon Avion, Westchester. Like, what the hell are your damn towns named? And mine just says South Carolina, and then his has like 19 words in it.
Poxley, Abergavenny upon the Heath, Thamesmead upon Avon.
The naming of cities in England was decided by a game of bingo.
You're like... I come from somewhere that's just called Bury. Simple, 4 words.
The locals pronounce it Bury.
Yes, they do. Bury.
Like, I buried an item.
I joke about it all being named like upon towns, but I literally live in Merle's Inlet, which is named after the waterway that it's on, Merle's Inlet. So, I literally live in the same fucking place.
Isn't this how Sleepaway Camp starts?
Yes, it starts with the Spice Girls drowning. That's how Sleepaway Camp starts. I would not want...
And all the Spice Girls died. End of movie.
I would not...
Just hard cut to credits with Wannabe playing over the top of it.
Can you imagine swimming in the
Thames?
Thames? You'd get fucking cholera.
Yeah, you would die. The Thames is... a fun fact, Raymond, I don't know if you know this, the sewage outlets in London filter out to the Thames. So toilets are connected to the Thames River, so if you go swimming in there, there's a good chance you're probably going to catch something horrible.
The shittiest, smelliest river in the fucking world.
Hey, I watch a bunch of mudlarking videos on YouTube. They're fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There was an incident in the 19th century called the Great Stink, which was basically where all of the sewer pipes basically corroded, and it just pumped raw sewage into the Thames for like 6 months. And people couldn't go outside.
It feels like that's not stopped.
Yeah.
You knew Mel B wasn't getting her hair wet, not for this fucking movie.
I'm not getting in that river.
No, mate.
Fuck off, mate.
Do you guys
No
ever
chance.
watch that mudlarking stuff? It's just people being really excited about finding old pipes that people just threw away because they're trash.
Did you say pipes?
Yeah. Oh, God, no, that's a reference to a commentary we've just recorded. Ben, wrong show, wrong film. Why is the news being closed?
I've never noticed that. That's very bizarre. Maybe that's just because he's rich and powerful. That's how his telly turns off.
It's the power of the Spice TARDIS.
Richard E. Grant just shouts at the telly and it turns off. So this is an attempt to have some drama now.
Great.
This is the end of the Spice Girls.
This is just what we needed in our cookie girl comedy movie.
Every movie about bands needs to have a scene where the bands argue and come to the point of splitting up or split up.
Hey, if we ever shoot a TYTD movie, we'll have to do that.
But then at the end, they have the big show at the end.
But like one of them's dead and their kid replaces them in the band.
This is basically the ITV2 version of A Hard Day's Night.
Well, Jerry Halliwell, unfortunately, you've passed on, but your son, Jerry Halliwell Jr.
I want to live in a world where she named her kid after herself as a junior. Has a son named Jerry Halliwell Jr.
They did go on to sack their manager in real life after this film, so this scene has very grim real life parallels.
I want to see them do a sequel now, but exactly like how this film was filmed.
That'd be fantastic. I'd watch that.
But they're all in their 50s, so
We should make that.
get Richard E. Grant back. He's now in his 70s.
I'd love to meet the Spice Girls. I've seen the Spice Girls live. Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I was 5, but it counts. My mum took me to see him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they played at the MEN. Well, it's not called the MEN anymore. The arena in Manchester. It used to be called the MEN. Now it's just called Manchester Arena. But yeah, I have no
nice.
memory of it, but I know it happened.
But you were there.
I know it happened, and that's all that counts.
Under quantum leap laws, that technically means you can jump back to there if you wanted to.
That's very true. Yeah.
Anything you were alive for, you can go back to.
His shouting it causes energy. It turned the lights on.
It magically turned off a television. Now it's turning lights on. He's screaming.
It's like Monsters Inc. His screaming is energy. It's power.
I just think that Richard E. Grant is channeling what we're all feeling.
Okay, for those only listening to the audio, Roger Moore is a teacup pig now. He's gone from kitten to rabbit to teacup pig.
I'm just thinking he stroked his rabbit too much. That's not a euphemism.
They had that pig for tea.
It fed at least one Spice Girl.
Bacon butty.
Okay, who is this bald guy? Is he like a British actor I should know?
That's Riff Raff.
Yeah, that's Richard O'Brien. He played Riff Raff in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He plays one of the doctors in Shock Treatment. He was the host of a game show called The Crystal Maze. Nobody would really know who he is immediately, but
Around this time, he probably would have been more known for The Crystal Maze.
I think we ripped off the Crystal Maze for one of our shows.
Oh yeah, which one?
I don't remember.
The Silver
I think it's
Maze.
like it's one everyone freaking loves, but it actually stinks.
American Idol.
No, I forget what it's called. Legend of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yeah, that's got a very similar vibe to it. Very similar vibe. Oh, now we're flashing back to before they were all famous.
Yes, which as anyone who knows the Spice Girls know, they did not know each other before they were in a band. They were the Spice Girls came about because of a competition.
They're like a K-pop group.
Basically,
kind of.
Basically.
There was an audition for girls to be in a pop band, basically, and the first day they ever met was the day they went to record their first single.
It's like on X Factor when Simon just kicks everyone off, and then he's like, "No, you two should be a group now."
Yeah, kind of. So it was basically X Factor, but not televised, just behind closed doors. But you know what? In the reality of this film, it makes sense that they'd all know each other.
Ben, when it comes to the reality of this film,
this is a documentary. Hey, look, it's Wannabe.
Okay, you're talking over my favorite Spice Girls song now.
It is a tune.
15 minutes ago, we were watching them prance around with Michael Barrymore.
This is a good version of Wannabe too.
It is a very good version of Wannabe.
There's this podcast called Punch Up the Jam that they make fun of this song and rewrite it as, if you want to be with me, you gotta have sex with my friends.
The Scientology version.
Is anybody going to tell Mel B that that's not a microphone?
That's cute that she's using it as a microphone.
If Mel B wants it to be a mic, it's a mic. Leave her alone.
It's a fucking microphone, alright.
God blimey, I don't want to ruffle any feathers here, I'm just...
Okay. I'm slowly switching to Sporty just because she does nothing in this movie. And so she's the least
Don't you talk
culpable.
about Mel C that way. You are talking about my wife.
Sporty Spice is least to blame for this movie. so she might end up being my favorite.
Mel C's fantastic.
They're just there to argue, though.
Both as a person and a musician, and plus she was the best singer.
I don't know. Emma Bunton's a good singer.
Emma Bunton's an alright singer, but Mel C, there's a reason why they gave Mel C all the ad-libby bits at the end of each song. Like at the end of Say You'll Be There when she's like, I'm giving you everything, and she's like proper belting it. Like,
wasn't that Asian friend pregnant like a week ago, and now she's not and totally
don't
fine?
Worry, that comes back. It all comes together.
Oh yeah, that's another thing to bear in mind. She was a week overdue at the time that she first turned up. Why are the posters for the Spiceworld tour in the film Spiceworld that we're watching happening now?
For dramatic effect. To be fair, Dan, that actually does kind of work because in the plot of the film, they're doing a gig.
I was going to say, yeah, it says Albert Hall on the poster.
And I also love the fact that, like, around this time, there's no way that these 5 girls could just stand on a London corner without someone going, is that the Spice Girls?
Are the Spice Girls reading a poster to figure out where their own show is?
Like, someone would walk past, it's London, someone would walk past and be like, why are Spice Girls eating chippy on a bench?
All together, in full costume.
Yes. This must be for a film.
Flashback.
Oh, another Family Guy cutaway.
With Stephen Fry.
Hey,
National
look, kids,
treasure.
It's Stephen Fry. You got Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie. This is actually a bit of Fry and Laurie Series 5.
I always preferred him as Lord Melchard.
He talks about this on Rahelistipa.
Oh yeah.
He says that like him and like all the other
their album's gonna be 179th. Oh no.
He talks about how him and all the other hacks who were in this were just like huddled together, being like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
I think he said something about having to go to Taiwan with Gary Glitter, but I might have made that.
More pedo references.
The lawsuits come flying in. It's like that bit in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone where all those letters come through the chimney.
I'm going to take a second bathroom break as I am extremely disappointed in both of you for not calling this chicken dinner a Cheeky Nando's. So
you're gonna be pissing all night now. You broke the seal.
You gotta call it a Cheeky Nando's because Americans don't know what that means, and it's apparently hilarious.
Raymond is going for a Lillian Gish.
I bet Mel C got shitloads of money from Adidas.
Oh yeah.
I bet that was a nice check that came in. Actually, Raymond picked a good time to go for a wee because this isn't a very good scene.
No, this is a really awkward and slightly boring one.
And it gets quite creepy as well towards the end.
It really does.
See, in my mind, this is a sequel to Wivlin and I. This is Wivnell's death hallucination.
One thing I will say about Richard E. Grant is he's never forgot how to drunk act. He is very good at it.
Which is ironic considering that he can't drink alcohol, he's allergic to it.
That night with Bruce Robinson really must have changed his life.
Well, I know that this is going to turn into the Wivnell and I comedy. Look, there's Elvis Costello.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying last night, where is he? There he is. Which begs the question, that's how indulgent this film is. Like, it's such a tiny, tiny fucking bit. Why would you get Elvis Costello in to do it? It makes no sense. He wasn't even that famous in 97.
No, we got him in. We might as well put him somewhere, make him the barman.
If this film was made in, like, 78, 79, when he'd just done Oliver's Army and all that, it would make sense, but... Who was into Elvis Costello in 97?
Me, but that was about it.
Oh, I like him too, but what I'm saying is in terms of like mainstream success.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't have known it unless you knew it.
Exactly. This is a great bit.
The club bit.
This is fantastic. Everyone knows, and it is not possible to shoot a bad 90s club scene. It's not possible.
Ben said this last night on the pre-screening of this.
No, I didn't. We have never spoke before. Who are you?
I'm very inclined to agree with him. I can't think of a bad 90s club scene, ever. And I've watched 24-hour Party People.
Exactly, yeah. See, also, 60s druggy disco scenes. Like, it's not possible to shoot a druggy. It's not possible to shoot a bad 60s disco scene. It's not possible to shoot a bad 90s club scene. If you want at least one good bit in your crap film, just have a 90s rave bit in it. Now, I don't remember people dressing as the Borg, but who cares, right? Because it doesn't matter, really. Because, like, Ministry of Sound. That takes me back.
Good, isn't it?
This is the kind of thing I was talking about before, where I said, like, the film should just be the girls just, like, jumping from scene to scene, just riffing and improvising. Stuff like this, where it's like they sing a version of "Who Do You Think You Are?" It's not bad. I prefer I prefer the original, to be honest, but this is not a bad version.
Well, I was going to say, the thing as well is all of these remixes of these songs.
No, this is a club scene. I was just saying, Raymond, I don't know if you'll agree that it's not possible to shoot a bad 90s rave scene. Like, there are no bad 90s rave scenes. You can just, if you want to improve your bad film. Again? Yeah, if you're making a film and you don't think it's very good, just stick a 90s rave scene in there. It'll be great. I just snorted like a pig. I do apologise.
Roger Moore's teacup pig got loose.
Uh-oh, she's not going to be pregnant for long. She just stopped dancing.
Oh, dear.
That baby's going to be born to go... Wow.
And that child grew up to be Billie Eilish.
I bet Billie Eilish was probably fucking born around this time. Isn't she, like, 19, 16?
Yeah. It all lines up.
It all lines up.
I'm just saying. No, what I was going to say before you started was, I think...
Look at the lighting, it's fucking great.
There's a very good chance that Billie Eilish was conceived as Spice Girls music.
It might be libelous, I don't know.
She's Reddit Spice.
So you've got Sporty Spice, Scary Spice, Nasty Spice, Dopey Spice,
Sleepy
Nice
Spice.
Sleepy Spice, Angry Spice,
Bashful Spice,
Lusty Spice, Jealousy Spice.
I like Lusty Spice.
Roger Moore Spice, somehow.
I like how Jerry's got washing up gloves. That's quite funny.
What I was saying was, I think all of these remixes of these Spice Girls songs makes it almost worth buying both the soundtrack to this film and the original album.
Mel B with the jokes. You hear that? You gotta keep your legs together. Oh, she should have done that 9 months ago. And now Jerry Halliwell is yelling at a poor Asian woman's vagina.
Oh, that's funny.
Sorry, a nurse just walked onto the maternity ward and asked what's going on.
Could you please call this video "A Poor Asian Girl's Vagina"?
We're demonetized already, so why not?
Dan has a good point that they're in the maternity ward of a hospital. There's a screaming pregnant woman, and the nurse says, "What's going on?" You're in the maternity ward. What do you think
playing
is
charades.
going on?
She's she has multiple personality disorder. This is personality number 4 coming out.
You leave Patricia alone. Oh yeah, this is a really seedy joke.
Yeah, but whatever.
Bit of blue fit dads.
I just thought it'd be funny if, like, the boy wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I don't like the Spice Girls."
You'll not take that.
I'm into Oasis.
You're not pulp.
Have you heard BA Now? It's going to be the sound of the summer, mate.
Like us, he only likes Mel B and Baby Spice, so he's going to be really pissed off when his eyes open.
You three aren't fit.
You're not Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba. They would have only been known for being an anarchist revolutionary band by then.
It's the wrong competition show band. He actually likes Jedward.
He's a big he's a big Blur fan. The self-titled album came out this year. It was sick.
He only cares for Emerson, Lake and Palmer. We've all lost.
Do I get no credit for knowing who Jedward is? Okay.
You get bonus points for Jed. I'm very, very impressed that Jed would have made it across the border, in fairness, because a lot of English
They
people don't know who Jed
haven't.
Wood
I
is, so.
just watch all the end of the year quiz shows on YouTube.
Oh, yes, the Big Fat Quiz of the Years.
Yeah.
Celebrity Juice. Keith Lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the sound of Keith Lemon there from my
I
assistant.
try to score myself watching the show, but then the last stuff that like only happened there, they're like, "Oh, what actor on this show you've never fucking heard of died?" Like, I don't know.
My favourite Jedward moment, if I have to have one, there was a bit where they went on
You have to
Big
have one.
Brother. Oh yeah, everybody has to have one in England. It's the law.
Yeah.
There was a bit where they were invited into Celebrity Big Brother, and they turned up and lasted about 10 minutes. They basically went in, smashed the place up, and then left.
Nice.
That was the whole thing. They just turned
I
up.
semi remember that. Wasn't it like? Didn't they have like a strop because they were just like they didn't realise just how sort of full on it would be. Like,
Yeah.
They literally, when you're on Big Brother, you're cut off from society, and they just couldn't deal with that essentially.
They lasted 12 minutes in total. They literally went in, hooray! And
Do you
then
remember when,
there was a.
Do you remember when Ken Russell was on Celebrity Big Brother?
Like, no, you're not allowed to use your phone, so they freaked the fuck out.
That was the year that Jade Goody said the racist thing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting year.
Yeah. Talking about Big Brother, Becky.
Our celebrities are much more soft than yours, though. We had like half a season of Celebrity Survivor. You guys have had like 30 of. You guys just go Celebrity or whatever.
Well,
Hold on,
I'm a
Celebrity,
celebrity. Get me
here.
out of here. Yeah. Well, we find a formula and we stick to that formula rigidly and aggressively.
I was going to say, I've only ever seen one American sort of game show type thing, and it was the series of The Apprentice where Meatloaf and Gary Busey were on the same team.
I watched that with Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Meatloaf very nearly kills Gary Busey, which
that was a badly edited slap scene.
it was.
Oh look, it's a Baba who is clearly not a newborn because look at his hair.
Oh look, it's Michael Barrymore.
But like, look at his hair. That is clearly not a newborn baby. His hair's too long.
No, that's not.
Or
Yeah.
an Asian baby.
No, it's not actually.
Is she like a surrogate or something? Did we miss?
It's an Asian baby. Meanwhile, here's Richard O'Brien in Scrubs being chased by the Spice Girls.
Oh yeah, this is the part of the film where it completely goes off the rails.
That's implying it was on the rails in the first place, Dan.
Yeah, but this is the point where it like we're
oh
in full.
yeah. This is where we go full on fiction head now, don't we?
Yeah, so it turns out that what we've just been watching is actually a pitch from Norm from Cheers, and that the entirety of the movie we've seen up to this point was just a movie pitch.
No, it's not. That's not what happens.
Go on then.
The entirety of the film isn't like just a fantasy, because that wouldn't. The joke is just like, who gives a shit? The joke is what he's pitching. But that's not the joke. The joke is what he's pitching is what's happening in real life. It's not that he's making it up. It's that the funny thing is, what he's saying just happens to match real life. That's when they have the gag later on when he's like...
So is it like the Mitchell and Webb skit where they're like talking about how they're going to kill Princess Diana and they're like, oh, never mind, all of that just happened.
That is, you know what? That is... Thank you, because that is an excellent comparison. Becky's telling me I'm shouting too much. Do you think I'm shouting too much, Dan?
Yeah, you sound alright on my end.
Like Dan doesn't sound alright. So there you go. Becky.
Yeah, and Mitchell and Webb, they had a skit where they had people in the conspiracy theory bunker, like how they're going to fake the moon landing, but they actually need to build a rocket capable of getting to the moon.
Sketch.
But one of them
sketch.
is how they're going to kill Princess Diana, get the driver drunk, and pay off the media to harass him so he crashes by accident. And then someone just runs in the room and says, oh, never mind, all that just happened.
Well, I can tell you how the moon landings happened. Sean Connery faked them.
In the film Diamonds Are Forever.
Yes. That's a callback, kids.
And now he's dead and he can never be charged.
I will say, Dan, this whole like last stretch is really great.
Well, this is the thing. When I watched this the other day, I assumed that it was the case that it turned out that everything we'd seen up to now was just a pitch from a movie producer.
Okay,
No,
why are 3 of them wearing platform shoes and one of them isn't?
Who cares? It's like it's like what Raymond.
Like Sporty
it's
is
like
in
what-
sneakers, everyone else is in platforms.
It's because Sporty's got to be ready to play against Brazil at any given moment.
It's like what Raymond just said with the Mitchell and Webb sketch. It's like the joke is that what they're saying is exactly what's happening, which is why when they have later on they have the gag where it's like, and then the Spice Girls come through the door now, and then they don't.
Oh, here you go,
like-
folks, the greatest stunt scene in film history.
Oh, this is brilliant. This is really funny. I love
Came courtesy of Adam
Should
and Joe
have won
Productions.
awards.
Yes. It's really funny. It's like the film becomes it's been self-aware through the whole film, but it becomes mega self-aware in this bit.
Very slowly turns into 500 bus stops.
Some trailer shots there. Oh, I laughed at a stupid joke. Oh, don't matter. See, that's quite funny.
It's one of the few times where the film stock cost more than the actual effect.
Well done, Kim Fuller, or whoever came up with that. Maybe it was the girls. Maybe that was their idea. It's like the film's already been quite sort of self-aware and fourth-wally throughout the whole of it, but now it just cranks it up to 11. And then the girls sing Porpoise song.
Yes, they do.
and then
Now it's not happening.
that's what I mean. That's the joke. They're like, it's all happening, but
I like the fact that Richard E. Grant immediately went to kill everyone now mode. Just
They're just a
no.
little behind, that's all.
the Rocky theme. Why
Oh,
not?
God.
why not? Why not?
Why
At this
not?
point, why not?
That's the
By
whole.
the way, yes, folks, the Rocky theme is actually a song called Gonna Fly Now, not Eye of the Tiger. Sorry, you're wrong.
Would have been a real shame because if they'd have played Eye of the Tiger, it would have fit more in with Scary Spice, aka Mel B.
That's a bugbear of mine too. Although they could have played the best song from the Rocky franchise, which is the one from Rocky 4, when he's on the
Oh,
mountains. Force of fire.
Hearts on Fire by John Cafferty.
Yeah, that's the one.
I have that in my car. I drive around listening to it.
So Dan, you'd probably be the policeman in this scene.
Yes.
With
I'd be like, oh, go on,
Okay,
commit your
this
terrorist
is
atrocity.
Dan's cameo here. He's he's seduced by Baby Spice as a security guard.
he's seduced by blondes who wear low-cut dresses with big tits. Not that hard to explain.
Nah, this seems pretty human.
Yeah. This is a quite a nice little Richard E. Grant bit, just for his performance more than anything. He makes a joke about suicide.
Which is funny given the end of Within Illinois.
That's what I mean. That's part of my theory, which is true.
100%.
It's okay. Even if they hadn't made it, who cares? They would
They
have
were
just
just a little late. If they used any of the Spice Girls other than Baby Spice to seduce a security guard, they could have got through quicker.
Could have got Mel C.
Well, if Mel B had done it, they'd been in 5 minutes.
This is I like all this. Oh look, there's Roger Moore again.
Okay, Roger Moore still has a micro pig, for anyone wondering. And he is feeding it with a baby bottle.
Because it's like Baby Spice. All works together. It all adds up.
Does this go anywhere near proving that Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landings?
I think you'll find, Dan, that Mel B faked the moon landings. She went to the moon and went, "Yeah, look at that. That's an astronaut, that is, bloody hell." But this is great. This is a fantastic bit of pop cinema. It really is. And this is actually my favourite Spice Girls song. And it was written in about 5 minutes.
They were bored in between takes, weren't they, or something?
Well, what it was it was either the record company or Simon Fuller or whoever was like, we need a big hit single for the film, a big single, and they didn't have time because they were filming a film and they were still doing
Norm
tours
from
and
Cheers
shows.
is dancing.
Yeah, Richard E. Grant's dancing fucking sucks, but they
Well,
literally
everyone's dancing, even the bad guys dancing.
yeah they were literally put in a studio and said, right, you have an hour, come up with a song, and they were just like, shit. So that's why this song it's great, but that's why it sounds a bit mad. It's because they literally just made it up as they went. Like that, but it's really great. It's fucking brilliant, and I think it would have been worse if they had more time to work on it. I think it's great simply because it was done in about 10
final
minutes.
pitch. Look what Mel B is wearing. How can she not be your favorite Spice Girl? My final Mel B pitch.
I agree. They all look fantastic.
Absolutely.
But Spice Up Your Life is such a tune.
It's pretty pop-tastic.
It's fucking brilliant. That little piano riff in the background, all the mad little shouts. It's pop heaven. It's just 3 minutes of just pure daft cheesy popness, and what can get better?
It does remind me of a lot of the 80s movies that me and Dan review, where they just show you the entire song. Like,
Well,
Yes.
the song.
just the middle of the movie, they'll be like in a club and like, no, we just watch them watch a band for 4 minutes.
Purple Rain, and that kind
For
of thing.
no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Purple Rain would be a good example of that. But this was the big tie-in single for the film, and this song displaced "Candle in the Wind" by Elton John for number 1.
Oh, wow.
So it had something going for it.
Oh, Roger Moore's dancing.
I love all the dancing
I
cutaways
thought he
because they
was a
clearly weren't.
bad guy. I guess the power of the Spice Girls converted him to the side of good, because now he's wearing all white and supposed to be angelic and shit.
Who cares? But
It cuts to Trump about to launch the nukes, and then he just starts dancing.
what I love about those cutaways is that they clearly weren't listening to the song because it wasn't finished.
The completely
in
not
time.
Asian babies dancing, aliens are dancing.
Do you reckon Peter Sissons is still proud of that little shot of him dancing to Spice Up Your Life?
That's on his retirement video.
See, yeah, hold tight. My for those of you who can't see this, which is all of you, my partner was doing a little dance to Spice Up Your Life.
I think that's the part where they cut out Gary Glitter dancing.
It's just great. What a fantastic song. God, the Spice Girls were good.
It was that perfect time in the late 90s where Britpop was just about to die.
Well, Britpop was dying, if not already dead, thanks to Oasis, pricks. And now we have some funny credits.
Melanie Chisholm.
That's her name.
Chisholm.
She has a really interesting left field taste in music. Like she did a session on Radio 1 last year, and she played like The Fall and Depeche Mode and all these weird like indie bands. Like she has like a really like, even though she was in one of the biggest pop bands in the world, she has like a really avant-garde taste in music. It's quite interesting. Which also adds to my theory that Mel C is the best one.
So I do want to ask you, in the UK, do any of the Spice Girls still have like gravitas? Do they ever talk about it? Does anyone care really?
Massively. Like they toured last year. They're still going.
They are still going. It's right. If you're asking me in day-to-day terms, am I like seeing Emma Bunton on telly every day? Probably not. But
they
in terms of weight of name, then yes.
They still have a lot of goodwill. Like they toured a couple of years ago.
We have Mel B. Mel B is one of the judges for America's Got Talent.
Thank you. Yes, they opened the Olympics. If you remember, in
Tosh
2012.
we know because she's married to David Beckham. But other than that, most people are amazed if... Yesterday I was telling a guy at work I'm going to do what we're doing now. And he was like shocked I knew the names of the Spice Girls.
They are still really, they still hold a lot of clout. Like you've got Mel B, like you say, who does American Idol, and Posh Victoria's married to David Beckham. But you like Emma Bunton has a show on Heart FM, which is still quite popular. Mel C still releases records occasionally and does DJ slots. Jerry's still quite famous. Yeah, they still have quite a lot of clout. Like even now, And if they ever get together, every like 4 or 5 years or so, they'll do a reunion tour, and those tours sell out fairly easily.
Oh yeah,
fairly quickly. Like so yeah, the Spice Girls are still considered quite.
The Spice
big
Girls are
here.
yelling at us for still watching this, by the way.
This is
this is the Ferris Bueller point of the film where they sort of stick out and go, "What? The movie's over. Go home."
yeah, and it's clearly ad-libbed and it's great. it's just charming. It's fantastic.
Well, sorry, ladies. We're saying good things about you, so don't get mad.
There's that line that Emma Bunton says about video that you missed because you were texting me.
I said to Ben the other night, I was like, can you imagine seeing this projected on like a 40, 50-foot screen? Like in a cinema, actually going to the cinema and seeing these like 30, 40-foot women just like attack you.
I messaged you because you were watching the VHS. I messaged you saying, well, Emma Bunton has a line where she says like, what are you doing? You watching this on video? Is there nothing on telly? And you were like, no, she doesn't say that. I was like, yes, she does.
And there it is. I'm happy to be proven wrong on that.
So that was Spiceworld,
Catering was done by Food 96.
Oh, I love Food 96.
They were great. Better than the other 95.
It's mainly Chupa Chups and Walker's Crisps, but
basically,
apart from that, it's fine.
Thanks to Nick Curson for driving the props around. Great job.
Good job, Nick.
Ivana Primorac did the makeup, and that
Ivanka Trump did the.
Yes. Do you?
I just burped on the microphone.
The lighting crew chief was known as Peter Fats Parchment.
He's fatty.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a company or a guy's name. Lincoln Park House. I want to believe that's a name.
Maxine Hardcastle. Do you reckon she's related to Paul?
Possibly.
Like she might be his wife or his whoever.
I quite like this big band track at the end as well. I don't think I've heard this before.
Yeah, this is The Lady is a Vamp, which is on the Spiceworld album. I think it's the last track on there. It's pretty good. But then I'm biased because I guess we're sort of closing up.
Physiotherapist. There was someone on the set that whenever they hurt themselves to make sure that they could still make this terrible fucking movie.
This film is not terrible.
Ben, come on.
No,
come on, Ben.
Don't say "come on" like I'm a.
Come on, Ben.
As far as I can tell, the plot of the movie is that George Wendt and the assistant dude wrote a movie about the Spice Girls of how their life is actually exciting when it's actually boring them driving around the UK. And their excitement for the film manifests itself into the real life of the Spice Girls.
No. Let me tell you.
Also, the Spice Girls think that their life is interesting, and it's not.
No. Let me tell you why this film is great. It's because this film is just like most films about bands are crap, and I'm a big Beatles fan. Like their I like their films. Hard Day's Night help, but the problem with pop is because it's a medium that is based on short bursts of excitement. Like a good pop song is about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing real quick before I forget. The copyright for this film was what's written on the bus. It's Limit 5 Girls, and the production company is called 5 Girls Limited.
Well, yeah, that's my company. I made the film. But here's my big argument to end on is that like pop films are generally crap. Is because pop is based on 2-3 minute bursts of excitement, and the thing is, most films are like 90 minutes, 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours and a half. It's hard to sustain that over a whole period of time. I'm going to be controversial here. I'm a big Prince fan. I don't like Purple Rain, the film. In fact, I'd go as far as to say I think the Purple Rain film's a bit shit, to be honest, compared to the album. But this film is good because it does a really difficult thing well. It captures the excitement of good, cheesy, over-the-top pop, and it compresses it into this 90-minute burst of just fun. Like, we can sort of riff on it all night and say, oh, this bit doesn't make sense, oh, it's nonsensical, it's rubbish. But that doesn't matter, because that's what pop music is. It's nonsensical, and that's what's so great about it.
What I will say is, I think as a pop movie, I think that it works fine. I think that it's very much of the vein of Head, like you've said. I think it's goofy, silly, slapsticky, run-around movie that is nonsensical, has some great music in it, and is largely a vehicle to promote 5 girls who have done an exceptional amount of recording. However, at the exact same time, if you're asking me to put this up against, legitimate theatre...
Yeah, but that's not a fair comparison, because this isn't trying to be legitimate cinema, is it?
You have to get your mind in the vein of what you're watching. Like, you can't watch Moonlight back to back with Airplane. Like, they're not the same thing.
Yeah, this film it's not trying to win Oscars. It's not trying to be like some big awards thing. It's just a daft film that was made to promote a band. That's all it needs to be. And it doesn't have to be great art. It doesn't have to be very serious, very dramatic. All it has to do is just keep you entertained for 90 minutes, and it does. It is. When I watched it last night with Becky, I said this to her after it. I said I was surprised at how much I was involved in it, and how much it kept me entertained, and how genuinely funny it is. And we can sort of sit here and make fun of how cheesy it is and naff it is, because yeah, it is cheesy and naff. I'm not denying that, but it's not aiming for greatness. And I think that, like, to criticise it for not being a great work of cinema is kind of missing the point, because that's not what it's trying to do.
I would agree with you in that sense.
It's obviously just designed to be I'll use the word cash in, which it probably is, because it's exploiting the Spice Girls fad, the Spice Girls phenomena, and that's fine. It doesn't have to do anything else more, and that's why it's good.
I absolutely
so
agree in that
I'll
regard.
give you that, Ben. I want to look at IMDb for what awards it was nominated for, and I'm with you. That's unfairly nominated for the Bad Movie Awards, the Razzies, and it won for Worst Actresses in both awards.
I don't think that's fair. Okay, Victoria Beckham, you'd have an argument like you were saying before, but they
did them all as a group. If they did it just Victoria, I'd be okay with it.
Like, they're not Meryl Streep. They're not fucking, they're not going to win any Oscars, but they have the job of be yourselves in a crazy cartoon film, and they do it quite well.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think the performance, when it comes to the Spice Girls movie, isn't necessarily something that needs to be taken into account. Whilst I will say that Victoria Beckham is probably the worst actor in this film, that's kind of missing the point of the film.
Hey, let's go back to Raymond's original thing, where it's like, who's your favourite Spice before, and who is it now?
I'll be honest, I still like Emma B. She's still my favourite. Baby Spice is still my go-to girl of the Spice Girls.
I'm still gonna disappoint you. I'm still gonna go with Mel C. For me, she's a whole lot of woman, and she, from what I've seen in like interviews and like documentaries and things, she seems like a really down to earth and quite funny person, and and she just seems like a very nice person.
Oh yeah, she's some kind of wonderful.
Yeah.
Part of the movie, I was leaning towards Mel C because she has the least to do in this movie, so she's least culpable. But at the end, final scene, Mel B is fucking gorgeous in that outfit, so Mel B wins again.
I can't deny that. I mean, but they all look fantastic in the Spice Up.
Mel C's wearing a t-shirt and jeans, like at the end of the movie.
Well, Mel B seemed to be the one who most enjoyed showing off her cleavage, so I can see how that would work.
And Jerry at the end, anyway.
I was going to say, Ben, your PA has just tagged us in a post online. You can actually stop in the original Spice bus.
Oh, yeah. Becky was saying that before.
You can rent it. You can go and stay in there for the night.
Is it the actual Spice bus or is it the inside of the
actual
Spice
one.
bus? Because they're not the same thing. The outside and the inside are not the same thing.
Raymond, I will not be convinced that is not the real interior of the Spice bus.
You live in the
that's how
UK.
it
You
is
have
in
been
real life.
in one of them buses
No.
before. You know it's not that big, Ben.
No, you're
Come
wrong.
on.
You were wrong. I refuse to believe otherwise.
Oh, God.
Magic is real, kids.
Believe everything. Trust no one.
So if we've learned anything, it's that we have different tastes in Spice Girls, and that if the Spice Girls own a TARDIS.
They do.
Which is really good.
They literally do. I will not believe otherwise.
Well, thank you so much, Raymond, for joining us today as we took a look at Spiceworld on the Comedy Dining Experience.
Cheers.
Cheers. Chin chin. Salut. If you want to mention again where you can be found.
I'm at Raymond H. Smith on Twitter. There used to be a Raymond Smith, but I killed him.
In an alleyway. Selling spice.
As always, we will link to Raymond's channel in the description. Go and check him out. He's a top guy and he does some very, very good reviews. Raymond, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great.
No problem, man. It's always fun.
Absolutely. We'll try and get you back on as soon as we can. Obviously, we love having you around, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what terrific movie we watch next time. You guys get to watch James Bond movies together. I watch Robot and the Family and Spiceworld. It's totally even.
Hey, I tell you what, when we get a good Bond film up, we'll try and get you on.
Only the best of the best for you, man.
Oh,
yeah. I'm going to be watching canon films till I die.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in.
We'll do a reading of their Spider-Man movie that they never made.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
A dramatic reading.
Of course. What other way to do it?
Exactly. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for Spiceworld. We hope to see you next time on the Comedy Dining Experience. And from all of us here at Television Centre, good night.
Ziggy zigga.